Hello, I am Sam Delsing. I worked with the women's basketball team at SAIT over the past year. For my practicum, I worked a little bit with the men's team because we traveled together. Probably my biggest learning experience over the past 2 semesters was a mental health kind of issue that an athlete brought to me. We don't normally get taught a lot about when an athlete comes to you with mental health. So I feel like that was something big because I always go into practice kind of ready for something kind of physical to happen. But having an athlete kind of come to me before this practice started was kind of a very different experience and something that I feel like we don't talk too much about. So I feel like that was a really big learning opportunity for me. And challenge, kind of learning how to kind of approach her and where to send her after we had our conversation. How I dealt with it was I basically just told the coach hey, this person is having kind of a rough day and I don't think she will be able to practice. And then I had her kind of sit in our little taping room and tell me what was going on. So I just had her vent and gave her kind of some places to go, told her about counseling. And then I just kind of continued to check up with her throughout the week and make sure that she talked to a counselor or someone who has a little more experience than I did. I didn't really push her after that conversation to tell me anymore just because it's kind of her private thing. So yeah, that was probably my biggest learning experience over the past semesters. So what I can bring to the placement next year is probably just positivity and outgoingness. I like to just chat with everyone. What I am looking for at my placement for next year is probably a friendly environment where I can talk to people and be my bubbly self with everyone, but also a place where I can be super independent and kind of learn to deal with injuries a little more on my own. We kind of always had someone around over my last 2 semesters, which was good that I had so much help and resources, but that won't be the case come after graduation. So kind of beginning to branch off on my own a little bit is kind of important for me for next year. What I have learned about myself over the past year is probably to not parent athletes as much as I would like to and kind of let them be a little more in charge of how they do all their rehab. Towards the beginning of the semester, I did a lot of where are you? You need to be at clinic right now, and kind of parented them a little bit too much. So learning that they are adults and that they are in charge of their own recovery, and kind of learning not to push my own drive to get back into the sport as I play basketball. So they didn't always want to return maybe as quickly as I would have wanted to return. So learning when to step back and not parent people as much was something I learned about myself over the last semesters. For next year, I don't really have too much of a preference of where I would be placed. I think the most important thing would be that I would like to possibly work with a CIS level just to get kind of the comparison of the ACAC to the U Sport. I just chatted with my supervisors at SAIT and they were telling me a little bit about some of the differences, so I think it would be cool to get to experience that. I live very close to Mount Royal, so that would be convenient, but again, I'm not too picky. All right, so here is my schedule for the first semester of next year, and then this is the winter semester schedule. Thought it would be easier to just print it off and video it. This is for Monday. And then my availability for August is pretty free right now, so I'm pretty flexible with August availability. Anyway, that's me, and I look forward to either hearing back from any of you and working for you next semester. Thank you.